Hello, my dear learners. क्या हाल चाल है आपके? Welcome to yet another session of Love Thy RCs, and I'm going to give you a very nice RC today. बाकी भी nice ही होते हैं, but today it's something on diaspora. Diaspora. I'm sure many of you don't know the meaning of diaspora. या कई लोग सोचते हैं it's general population. So चलिए आज मैं आपको बताती हूँ what it means and let's solve 4 questions associated with that passage. Objectives आपको पता है ये सारे. So you have to take out the main idea, do or die. Okay, you have to map the passage. ये मैं अक्सर आपको sessions में दिखाती हूँ. How to connect the paragraphs, how to join the dots. If you thread the paragraphs together the way I generally teach you, you will be so clear with the flow and tone and main idea of the passage that it will become very easy for you to answer your questions. Okay, then locate important zones. कहाँ पे question set हो सकते हैं, ये zones पता होने चाहिए. कौन सा important point है, कौन सा unimportant point है. इससे क्या help मिलती है? You can skim very easily. Skim किसको बोलते हैं? You read the first 2 lines of the paragraph and then do vertical reading. So जब आपको पता होगा कि ये important zone है, यहाँ पे रुकना है मुझे, तो उससे clarity आती है, right? Okay. Pin the types of questions. क्या क्या पूछा गया है question में, exactly you should know, and then of course process of elimination. Diaspora. So sounds like diaper, है ना? But it's not diaper, it's not population, it's something else. अभी बता रही हूँ. So the passage is on diaspora. The first thing that I do is I take a look at the passage and decide किस बारे में है ये. Diaspora, okay, communities, all right. क्या है क्या ये? Paradoxically, okay, belonging, all right. So is he talking about diaspora or he's talking about something else or technology or what? Diaspora. Nationhood. All right, and then represents a richer. Okay. So nationalism, diasporic life. Okay. And then the last para also discusses the same thing. Diaspora is neither this. So I understand that the hero of the passage is diaspora. But what is the main idea? Main idea is the angle that he's discussing connected with diaspora. Now, वो तो हम पढ़ेंगे अभी ना, तो हमें पता चलेगा. I'll take you over to the questions. We sneak peek at the questions and then come back for our proper reading. From the second paragraph, which of the following can be inferred about the impact of technology on this? Paraspecific. खुशी होती है देख के, है ना? Paraspecific, point specific. All right. The author's discussion of India and China implies that state engagement with diasporas primarily. So why is he discussing India and China? Specific inference, right? Then the passage suggests that the diasporic experience challenges traditional nationalism. Diasporic experience जो भी है, it challenges traditional nationalism. So this is connected with a specific point. So specific point inference, right? And then the last one, suppose a new immigration policy grants elite tech workers easy dual citizenship while increasing this. Which interpretation aligns best with the author's perspective? Now, take a gyan point here, guys. जो मैं कहती रहती हूँ ना, identify the question stem. Pinpoint the type of question. अभी उसमें था ना rules में. So यहाँ we are talking about application question. This is application. But application question में again there can be 2 types. One is he says which of the following best mirrors the author's concept in the second para. You have to read the second para. फिर यहाँ दिया होगा a child does this, a parent does this, a teacher does this, a country does this. Examples. That is application one type. The other type is he gives you the situation here. Instead of giving you 4 situations, he gives you one situation and he says कि ये situation जो है, does it match the paragraph का situation or does it go against it? Does it counter it? Does it argue with it? Does it undermine it? What does it do? Okay. So यहाँ ये दिया है, this is another type of application. All right, questions look pretty good to me, but we need to go back and understand what diaspora means, right? So before we start, just for your knowledge, what is diaspora? It's population that is settled in some other country. They have left their homeland and they are settled there. So एक general usage कैसा होता है? The Indian diaspora in the US. So the Indian population. So ये जो diaspora होता है, these are people who have relocated, these have left their homeland. So there can be pain, there can be pleasure, there can be better employment, there can be bad employment, there can be deprivation of rights, there can be plus minus, सब हो सकता है. Okay. So, अपने passage का angle क्या है? Let's check this out. The term diaspora once evoked images of exile and dispossession. ओ छोड़ के गए हैं ये, exile में है. Communities forcibly scattered. मजबूर होके छोड़ना पड़ा था. Jewish, Armenian, okay. ये सब अब मैं skim कर रही हूँ. क्यों? क्योंकि मैं समझ गई, he's talking about once. पहले this image was there of exile and dispossession. Yet, there can be a question, why does the author mention Jewish and Armenian? होगा तो आएंगे. Yet, in an era of accelerating globalization, so now what is happening? He brings in a change of tone and he says, globalization is increasing. What is happening? The meaning of diaspora has expanded and blurred. It's not clear. Today, this is very important, and these two lines, the last 2 to 3 lines of the first para, are generally very important because they contain the main idea. So today millions migrate voluntarily. लोग छोड़ के जाते हैं, NRIs. That is diaspora. The population settles somewhere else. So voluntarily for this, cultivating attachments to host countries. They become attached to the host country. They not forget the motherland, but okay, they leave it and go. This new diaspora is less a zakham, a ghav, than a strategy. What strategy? An adaptive mode of living in multiple worlds. So the main idea of this passage is the shifting perception or the shifting meaning of diaspora. Got it? Now, I'll skim from the second para onwards. Paradoxically, the very technologies that ease migration, paradoxically, is opposite. So, wahi technologies that are supposed to ease migration complicate something. Cheap flights allow the Nigerian entrepreneur or the Filipino nurse to remain socially, culturally, politically alive in their countries of origin. Okay. But such constant connectivity sharpen. Okay. I'm not reading much here. I'll tell you why. Because I know that this is talking about some paradox. In case there's a question, I'll come back to it. Abhi padh ke mera time khali jayega. So I'm going to do vertical reading. Dubai, Filipino, Nigerian, London, okay, Toronto, okay, similarly the parent. अच्छा parent की भी बात की, two western, ठीक है, आ जाएंगे वापस. States, for their part, exploit diaspora networks for economic. States, governments, okay, exploit diaspora networks. जाहिर सी बात है ना, migrants are there, so they will be exploited for economic and diplomatic gain. India quotes its overseas citizens for investment and soft power. अब examples है, India क्या करता, China क्या करता. A government that celebrates its expats, okay, all right. Such ambivalence, all right. Valued for what they send back, okay. So this paragraph is talking about how diaspora can be exploited or they can be valued. आ जाएंगे वापस इस पे पढ़ने, अभी तो देख लिया, बस इतना काफी है. The lived reality of diaspora thus unsettles neat categories. It cannot be classified, it cannot be sorted. If identity is rooted in place, what happens? Okay, there is a question mark here. Several places at once, what will happen? Traditional nationalism. Nationalism is Hamara Desh. Kattarpanthi. Okay, assumes a singular allegiance to a bounded territory. I feel attached to only one country, that is traditional nationalism. But diasporic life. Now, a gyan point for you, everybody. This is an important zone, a question pocket. Why? Because it's showing you the difference between traditional nationalism and diasporic life. Got it? Question आएगा वापस आके कर लेना. ठीक है? Then the last two paragraphs. Since the privileges of this are unevenly distributed, sorry, still the privileges are unevenly distributed. Ab, I'm not going to read it. This is talking about privileges being unevenly distributed, means inequalities. हर passage में होता है. Right? Transnationalism, regimes, racial discrimination, मत पढ़ो. Because I understand from here what he is discussing. Right? The last para, I'm going to read it. अब ये पैरा जो था इसमें तो स्किम करने के लिए भी कुछ नहीं था, बस रोमांटिसाइज्ड है, रेशियल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, इकोनॉमिक, नॉट मेयरली दिस, नॉट दिस, बट दैट. Important point. Not a sociological condition, but a political lens revealing how borders are selectively porous. Just keep taking the important points in your stride as you move along. In the end, I'm going to read this para word for word. In the end, diaspora is neither purely loss nor pure liberation. नुकसान भी नहीं है, freedom भी नहीं है. It is an elastic category stretching across forced exile, voluntary migration, pride and ambivalence, opportunity and constraint. Opposites, देख रहे हो? Opposites. Its significance lies less not in this, but in that. This is important. Less in where people come from than how they negotiate the shifting boundaries. So I told you the main idea is, यहाँ है ना, shifting boundaries. So first para में भी वही था. So the shifting perception, the shifting meaning of the word diaspora. That's the thing. The passage has very neat flow. You shouldn't take more than 90 seconds for such a passage reading. Okay, because I know what is where. First para में Jewish, Armenian, sorry. Second में Dubai Filipino और किस बारे में है? Complicate the idea of belonging, paradoxically something. Then the third para is like, economic, how they are exploited. The fourth para is neat categories नहीं बन सकते हैं, right? And the difference between traditional nationalism and this. Fifth para is inequality, privileges का. Sixth para is conclusion. So neat. Let's see if with this kind of reading we can actually handle the questions or not. Okay? Question number 1. Will I do this first? Yes, we can. From the second para. Why? Because this is para specific. I like questions that are related to a particular para or a particular point. Which of the following can be inferred about the impact of technology? Right? I take you back first. कुछ नहीं पता है मुझे टेक्नोलॉजी का क्या था impact. नहीं पढ़ा था तब. Now we are going to check this. So he says here, paradoxically, the very technologies that can ease migration आसान करना था टेक्नोलॉजी को, complicate the idea of belonging. How? He will explain in the next line, right? Cheap flights, instant communication. Allow the Nigerian entrepreneur in London, Nigeria, Africa, in London, London में रह रहा है, और the Filipino nurse, Philippines से आई है, in Dubai, to remain socially, culturally and even politically active in their countries of origin. Okay? Countries of origin जहाँ के वो हैं. But such constant connectivity can also sharpen awareness of exclusion. Right? Exclusion. They are not included in certain things. The second generation immigrants आए, इंडिया में रह गए, बस गए. उनका जो next बच्चे जो आए, that is second generation immigrant. The second gen immigrant raised in Toronto, yet told to go back where you came from, discovers that a passport does not guarantee acceptance. Passport है, that doesn't mean they'll accept you. Racial discrimination रहेगा. Okay. Similarly, the parent who dutifully remits money home, भेज रहे हैं पैसे, may still be judged by relatives. घर पे relatives. Filipino, let's say they are Filipinos. They are sending money home. But country of origin में बोला है ना, exclusion. The relatives may say, oh, they are too Western, they are settled in Europe, in Finland, and now they have become too Western, revealing that belonging is negotiated, not merely inherited. So this para talks completely about technology and how it gives people how it complicates things for people and they may feel excluded from certain things. इतना तो पता है, इतना तो समझ में आ गया. Go down and eliminate. Right? So this is question 1. Now, technology dissolves the emotional need for a single homeland by ensuring constant contact with multiple communities. Dissolves the emotional need for one homeland and it gives you constant contact with multiple communities. Is that what he has said about technology in that para? No. Instant communication दिया था, reinforces both connection. At the same time बोला है. Go back here. This, it enables people to be like, politically active, but such connectivity can also do this. So that connectivity has a plus and minus side. That is what is mentioned here. Instant communication reinforces both connection and experience of exclusion for members of a diaspora given there. I'll keep this. Digital connectivity allows migrants to escape traditional judgments. Example to diya hai, people back home may think, oh, they are too Western. About loyalty and authenticity, opposite of what is given, right? Technology creates belonging that is unconditional, transcending the biases of host societies. Belonging, this is opposite of what is given. That is unconditional, extreme. The paragraph says, although technology is supposed to help people, it excludes them. It gives them that feeling of getting sequestered from their homeland or from the country, wherever the country of origin. Got it? So B has to be your answer with elimination. So we, what did we do? We read a little bit of that para, just a few points, come back and eliminate, and then you'll be left with 2 choices. When you're left with 2 choices, go back again and then you can eliminate. Again, you can prove one. ठीक है, अगले वाले में देखते हैं, चलिए. Discussion of India and China implies that state engagement. I remember very well state exploit वाला था, है ना? तो स्टेट एक्सप्लॉइट वाला इंडिया एंड चाइना, ये गवर्नमेंट सेलिब्रेट्स. ओके, सो नाउ वील रीड अ लिटिल बिट बिकॉज वी हैव टू एलिमिनेट 2 ऑप्शंस. एक्सप्लॉइट डायस्पोरा फॉर इकोनॉमिक इन दिस. इंडिया कोर्ट्स इट्स ओवरसीज सिटीजंस, बुलाता है इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए. जैसे आपके एल्मा मैटर्स, आपके कॉलेज स्कूल्स आपको क्या करते हैं आजकल, ओ कम बैक, वी आर डूइंग अ रियूनियन. द मेन थिंग इज यू कम बैक एंड यू डोनेट मनी टू द इंस्टीट्यूशन. Okay, so citizens for investment and soft power. China seeks what? To harness the knowledge and capital of its global Chinese communities. Exploitation. मतलब exploitation not in that sense, but exploit यानी use their power, the position that they hold. These policies frame diaspora as a resource rather than people, rather than tragedy. Resource है वो, गए हैं तो अच्छी बात है. Yet they also create hierarchies of loyalty. A government that celebrates its expats' remittances may simultaneously question their political rights, offering economic incentives while withholding full citizenship. Ambivalence, deeper tension. इतना तो समझ में आया. This should take you 20-25 seconds. Quickly ये देख लिए points. Go back to the question, right? State engagement with diasporas primarily does what? Treats overseas citizens as equal stakeholders in national political decision making. Do you realize? ये था? नहीं था ना? Treats overseas citizens as equal stakeholders in national and political decision making. क्या वो मोदी बन गए? क्या वो आपके कहीं के चीफ मिनिस्टर है, गवर्नर्स है? नहीं. So this is kind of extreme, not given there. This is out of scope, right? Values economic contributions while keeping political participation under selective control. Okay, अभी इसको रखते हैं क्योंकि economic political दिया हुआ था. This is how I do it. Seeks to replace domestic investment with remittance driven growth. Replace, extreme. Domestic investment को they seek to replace with remittance driven, वहां से जो आ रहा है. They talked about using that, but they did not talk about replacing this. So this is extreme, right? Eliminated. Discourages hybrid identities to protect cultural purity. Now, in case you're confused about it, We'll take these two and try to prove one. Okay, discourages hybrid identities. Hybrid yani mixed, to protect cultural purity. What do I do now? I look for the difference between the two. Values economic this, I'll do one thing, I'll try to prove one. मुझे ये अच्छा लग रहा है, I'll prove this. When I'm left with two options, this is what I do. Value करता है economic contributions, political participation full नहीं देता है. Right? So I'll go back to this and I'll see here. These policies as a resource, frame diaspora as a resource. They also create hierarchies of loyalty. How? Explanation here. A government that celebrates its expats, revere करता है, उसको use करता है, may simultaneously साथ-साथ question their political rights, offering economic incentives while withholding this. So political rights में limited. राइट इकोनॉमिक इंसेंटिव्स उनको मिल रहा है. गॉट इट. सो साइमल्टेनियसली दो चीजें हो रही हैं. ये वैल्यूज इकोनॉमिक कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस, कीपिंग पॉलिटिकल पार्टिसिपेशन अंडर सेलेक्टिव कंट्रोल. सो दिस इज गुड, जस्टिफाइड एज योर आंसर. दिस वाज नॉट देयर इन द पैरा. हाइब्रिड आइडेंटिटीज को रोक रहे हैं टू प्रोटेक्ट कल्चरल प्योरिटी, वो तो यूजेनिक्स की याद आ गई. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 3. The passage suggests that the diasporic experience challenges traditional nationalism. Now you need to look for this. Diasporic experience. Do you remember there was a para in which there was a difference given? मैंने बोला था कि ध्यान रखना, ये question pocket होता है. Right? So diasporic experience, traditional nationalism. Traditional nationalism, ये. Now we need to read a little bit. The lived reality of diaspora thus unsettles, negative word, right? Unsettles neat categories. You can't sort them, you can't categorize them very neatly. If identity is rooted in place, what happens when people inhabit several places at once? So traditional nationalism assumes single promise to a single country. But diasporic life normalizes overlapping. I can be overlapping Indian nationality with Canadian, with Australian, with something ऐसा. ठीक है? So I may have worked there, I may have lived there for some time. So ऐसा. Normalizes overlapping affiliations, overlapping connections with different countries. A Ghanaian American, Ghana, African country, capital Accra. American may cheer for both nations match में. Why not? Donate to multiple political causes and speak a hybrid language without feeling divided. For some, this flexibility signals the erosion of authentic belonging. भाई कहाँ के हो आप, आखिर कहीं के भी नहीं हो, प्योरिटी नहीं है आप में, आप तो मिक्स्ड हो. For others, it represents a richer, more cosmopolitan selfhood. Clear? 20 seconds में ये समझ में आ जाएगा आपको. Go back. So, challenge is, how does this challenge? We need to look for the difference. It proves, what proves this? ठीक है? It proves, it encourages, it. So we are talking about this. Okay? Proves that national identity must always be tied to economic strength. Red flag. Correct? It encourages individuals to maintain layered affiliations. Yes. Multiple affiliations that defy singular territorial loyalty. Singular territorial कौन बोलता है? ये बोलता है. Defy, go against. मतलब go against in the sense कि not follow. So this is good. It requires governments to abolish borders. Diasporic experience, does it say abolish borders? It just believes in multiple affiliations. It doesn't say कि abolish borders ही बंद कर दो, हटा दो borders सारे. No, this is extreme, out. So I'm left with B and D. It shows that migrants inevitably abandon emotional ties to their ancestral homelands. Do they do this? No. They can cheer two countries at the same time, not a problem. So they inevitably abandon. Extreme. They don't abandon. They can maintain those connections. So this is eliminated. This is your answer. Hope it's clear, guys. Next. Fourth one. मजेदार वाला. Suppose a new immigration policy. ठंडे दिमाग से इसको ना 10 सेकंड देके पढ़ लो. क्वेश्चन नहीं समझ आएगा, गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. Suppose a new immigration policy grants elite tech workers easy dual citizenship. Dual दे दिया, दो जगह का. Okay. While increasing surveillance on low wage migrants. increasing surveillance on low wage. पहले तो मुझे ये दिख रहा है कि this is about elite tech workers and low wage. That means it's connected with the inequality वाला paragraph. You get it? So I need to first check क्या बोला था उसमें, क्योंकि तब तो मैंने नहीं पढ़ा था. So I go here, right? अब देखो यहाँ पे author का perspective related to this. The privileges of global mobility are unevenly distributed. We know that. Highly skilled professionals may celebrate their global citizen status. But refugees and undocumented workers experience diaspora as precarity, not empowerment. Precarity अगर आपको नहीं भी पता है तो भी ये समझ में आ रहा है, not empowerment, हमें power नहीं मिल रहा है उससे. The romanticized discourse narrative of transnationalism, trans यानी across, connected with other countries, so diaspora, can obscure the structural inequalities. Inequalities present है. Visa regimes, racial this, economic this, that determine whose multiple attachments are celebrated and whose are criminalized. किसको criminal करार दिया गया, किसको celebrate किया गया. In this sense, diaspora is not just a sociological condition but a political lens. Borders are selectively porous for different people. Inequalities, right? That's enough for us. So he says here a new immigration policy, let's say America ka, grants elite tech workers from India easy dual citizenship, easy breezy, while increasing surveillance on low wage migrants. यहाँ से low wage migrants जा रहे हैं, उन पे surveillance बहुत है, उनको criminalize कर दिया जाएगा. Which interpretation aligns best? So this is in sync with what the author says, right? Such a policy reinforces the idea that diaspora is celebrated only when it serves economic and political interests. Now, only can be extreme, right? I mark it here with a red flag. It demonstrates that governments are finally recognizing the universal rights of global citizens. Beta nahi. This is completely opposite of what is said there. Low wage को कुछ, high salary earners को कुछ और, elite class को कुछ और. So this is eliminated, right? It proves that diasporic privilege depends solely on an individual's willingness. Solely. Is this given there? No way out. It indicates that technological connectivity neutralizes the structural inequalities. Oh wow. Technological connectivity अगर है तो it kind of brings down, mitigates the structural inequalities. बोला है क्या? Technology वाला पैरा वैसे भी दूसरा था, and this one is from the inequality paragraph. Here he does not say that this inequality or this discrimination can be mitigated by the use of technology. नहीं बोला है आपके पैरा में. So this is out. So this is the only one left. So here only is not a red flag. I'll show you. Only when it serves economic and political rights. आप देख लो यहाँ. यहाँ celebrated and whose are criminalized in this sense is not only this but a political lens revealing how borders are selectively porous, right? So there only can seem to you as a trap or whatever, but यहाँ जो बोला है, here he says, you know, neither purely loss nor liberation, stretching this, shifting. Yeah, how they negotiate in significance, its significance lies, ये देखो, lies less in where people come from than. So this is important. How they negotiate the shifting boundaries of home identity and power. So because of that, this is justified. ठीक है? So only नहीं देता तो और ज्यादा अच्छा होता, but है, लेकिन I showed you how to eliminate. ठीक है? I hope this is clear, everybody. We are done with all the 4 questions. I sincerely hope this has been a learning curve for you. Keep learning. Thank you.